thinks it works, but he's not 100% sure. How could he be? He's taking 2 pills a day. How can you know for sure, with certainty, that it 100% worked? That you're positive, that you'd bet your life on it? You can't. Coach Greg and Bret Mossing's been bulking, but has he been bulking the right way? Today's video, we're going to go through his video where he talks about his starting weight, his end weight, what he's done, the calories added, if he's taken supplements and so on. We're going to use this video to explain to you how to bulk the right way. And as you know, I'm not in favor of most people going on a bulk unless you're really lean. And this guy, he's really lean. Close to, if not single-digit body fat. And so for most people, especially if they're natural like this guy, it's very difficult to add in significant muscle when you're this lean. And so his goal is to pack on muscle. He's only 22 years of age, been training for a long time, already has an incredible physique, 180 pounds shredded. Look at this guy's photo. He's pale, looks like a Gymshark model. And so his plan is to bulk up, add a bit of muscle and some fat, and make greater gains. And I do believe he's going to make more gains on this bulk than he would if he was trying to main gain at 180.
I started at 180.2 pounds, I believe. And right now I'm averaging around like 196 pounds in the morning.
And so 4 months into this bulk, he's gained 16 pounds. That's about 4 pounds a month. About 1 pound a week. His goal was to gain 0.5 to 1 pound per week. And so he's clearly met his goal. He's on the top end of the spectrum of gaining 1/2 to 1 pound a week. Anything more than 1 pound a week, most likely it's just going to be unwanted body fat. He's at that top end. He's gained some body fat, but he had to do this in order to maximize muscle hypertrophy.
Also, forgot to mention, I'm going to give you guys kind of like a Turk update as well. For those of you who do not know, yes, I've been taking Tercestrone.
He also mentions that he was in fact taking Tercestrone, not the first 2 months, but the second 2 months, taking approximately 2 pills per day. And so I think that's a smart decision. I don't think you should automatically start taking Tercestrone at the start of a bulk. At the start of a bulk, if you add in surplus calories, you're going to gain a significant amount of water weight and or glycogen. So if you're holding 10% body fat and you bulk up and you gain a lot of weight, it's probably not from the Tercestrone, but from the food that you're eating. More food, more glycogen, more body weight. And so rather than starting with Tercestrone at the start of the bulk, it makes more sense to wait until you reach a plateau.
I'm gonna show you guys basically how to make adjustments to your bulk or, weight gaining phase or build muscle in general when you hit a plateau or when your progress is stalling.
And so clearly you can see at the start of his journey, single-digit body fat. Of course, there's good lighting, but you can clearly see just how shredded his abs are. He has an excellent chest, great arms, superb abs, and overall, pretty much anyone's dream physique. However, he wants more muscle. And trying to build muscle when you're that lean, it's counterproductive. So he's making the smart decision to up his calories slowly in allowing him to build more muscle.
The very start of when I started, when I was like 180 pounds. So obviously, this picture, I look fucking diced. I look shredded. This is the end of my cut, or like just after my cut when I'm kind of like main gaining and shit.
And he starts his bulk at approximately 180 pounds. He's very lean, has great abs, is probably somewhere between 10 and 12% body fat. Don't know exactly where. Don't see his quads. I don't see his back. I can't give you a 100% accurate assessment. But what I can tell you is it's most people's dream physique. He looks absolutely incredible. And so he's going to add in calories slowly and try to build more muscle. And as you can see now, 196 pounds, up 16 pounds. He has put on a little bit of fat, but he still has a nice looking six-pack. He's gained a bit of fat, but a lot of muscle. And out of that 16 pounds, we don't know exactly how much muscle it is. Maybe it's 8, maybe it's 5, we don't know, but there's certainly some muscle that's been added. And check out his vacuum pose front double bicep. He has such a small waist, sunking in the stomach, tiny waist, clear defined biceps, great physique, probably still under 15% body fat. So in both photos, he looks amazing. And for me, if I was to give him advice, rather than to bulk and cut, I would stay as he is on the left. He's clearly lean. He still looks amazing, still under 15% body fat. So by maintaining a higher percent body fat, he can in fact build more muscle than if he were to bulk and go back down to 10%, back to 15, and so on. You will build more muscle if you're always at 15% than if you go to 15 to 10, 15 to 10, and so on. That is what main gaining means, to gain muscle at the same percent body fat. You don't have to main gain, but I'd rather see people main gain the same body fat and not suffer through bulking and cutting, perhaps force feeding or starving, and instead just to eat and maintain your body fat at the same percentage the entire time. And so on the screen quickly shows his calorie intake. It says 2,800 to 2,900 month 1. Every month after that, he adds an additional 200 calories. To me, that is a good ballpark figure for someone who's going on a bulk. When you're bulking, add maybe 100 to 200 calories above maintenance and see what happens. If your weight is going up too fast, you're gaining more than 1 pound a week, you know you're eating too much. If it's not going up at all, you can then try to add more calories. And although it's a good plan, you don't know how many calories you may need. If he's gaining weight consistently at 2,800 to 2,900 calories, there's no reason to bump that up in month 2. However, if he's at a sticking point, stalled out, not able to build muscle, that is when you should try adding more calories. Don't bump it up by a lot. 500 calories, too much. Add an additional 100 to 200 calories. That is all that you need to build muscle. Case in point, if you want to add 1 pound of muscle, it takes approximately 2,750 calories. If you add 100 calories a day to your diet, you will be able to build more than 1 pound of muscle in a month. And so is there any real benefit to adding a 500 calorie surplus? No, unless you expect to gain 5 pounds of muscle a month or more, there's no real benefit to doing that. So rather than adding too many calories and having to pull them back, better to add 100 or 200, see what happens, and add more as needed.
And that is my ultimate goal, because then I can just slowly main gain, eat a lot of food, and just be healthy, but also look sick as
And so he says his ultimate goal is to eventually main gain, to not have to bulk and cut, but he only wants to main gain once he reaches 185 to 190 pounds. And what he means is he wants to look as lean as when he was at 180, but be 185 to 190 pounds of muscle. So what that says to me is he wants to add 5 to 10 pounds more muscle and then main gain at an extremely lean physique forever. My advice, just main gain now. You don't need to bulk and cut anymore. You can gain all the muscle you need while maintaining close to 15% body fat. And so you can see, people, I'm not for trying to convince people to be shredded all the time and main gain. I want people to main gain at a healthy weight. Mentally, physically, psychologically, socially, everything.
I had kind of like the binge eating mentality. I just came off of my cut. I loved food. I loved donuts, pizza, everything like that. I was going crazy. Cereal too.
And so this is exactly what I'm talking about. When he ended his cut, he had the binge mentality. He found it really hard to not overeat junk food. He wanted everything, pizza, ice cream, had a hard time putting the fork down. That's because he cut in a deficit for too long. To get that dream physique, that 180 pound shredded, he had to do a dramatic cut, lowered his calories, made it hard to feel good, was always hungry. But then when he stopped his cut and went on a bulk, it took 2 months to normalize before he felt healthy. I'm telling you, rather than bulking up, pushing the calories, and then cutting to the point of needing to bulk again, why not be halfway there? Something more than 2,800 calories, but less than enough calories to make you feel sloppy or not happy with how you look. I would argue he looks great now. He's continuing his bulk. He's going into his 5th month. He's going to add an additional 100 to 200 calories. I don't think he needs to. I don't think that adding in more calories is something he needs to do. However, he says if he reaches a plateau, that is when he'll do it. And so long as he looks in the mirror, is comfortable in his own skin, happy with his appearance, there's nothing wrong with eating more calories and going up in body fat. Do so until you're not satisfied with how you look. If you keep upping the calories, getting fatter week after week, month after month, eventually you get to the point where, are you really healthy? He looks great, but if he kept doing this until he was 20, 25, 30% body fat, would that make sense? And do you look as lean as this guy? He's bulking, but look at the guy. Look how lean he is. If you're as lean as him and you're on a lean bulk, well, maybe that makes sense. But if you have 15, 20 pounds more fat than this guy and you're bulking, why? You've already bulked.
What you want to do is do the least amount of work possible and still see results. I know that kind of seems not right because a lot of people tell you to, train till failure.
Exactly. Do the least amount of work possible and still see results. You don't need to lower your calories even more if you're already losing weight. You don't need to up your calories more if you're already gaining weight. Do the minimum that allows your body to make the gains that you need. In the gym, don't go to failure every set if you're making gains going 2 reps from failure. It's called progressive overload. Take your time going harder than last time.
So basically, Tercestrone or Turk Builder by Greg Doucette's company.
And what is his opinion on Tercestrone? Did it work? Is it a scam? Is it something he would recommend?
First of all, I'm not sponsored by this company at all. Like, he's not paying me to say this or anything. I would definitely like to get some more because I don't know if 2 months was kind of long enough.
And so I did give him Tercestrone to try out. He's not sponsored. I'm not paying him to say this. I didn't make him do a video. Just sent him and said, hey, try it. I bet it works. I'd like to see what you think. Give it a try. See, does it actually build muscle? If you say no, you can make a video. If it doesn't build muscle, make a video and say, it doesn't build muscle. It's garbage. If it works, you can make a video or not make a video. Do whatever you want.
I have seen my strength actually go up drastically. I don't know if this is because of me increasing my calories.
And so he says he's seen his strength go up drastically. He's not sure if it's the Tercestrone. Maybe it's placebo. We don't know. But he hasn't said it didn't work. He thinks it works, but he's not 100% sure. How could he be? He's taking 2 pills a day. How can you know for sure, with certainty, that it 100% worked? That you're positive, that you'd bet your life on it? You can't. I took 6 pills a day, and I for sure could feel that it was working, that it was helping me to add muscle. If I'd only taken 2, does that mean it doesn't work? No. Maybe it would have added muscle, but not enough for me to notice. You can't be sure. I wouldn't be willing to bet that it helped me. I would say maybe, maybe not.
I think this actually helped me increase my strength. Now, I don't think that it made my body composition better. I already have good genetics.
And to me, that makes sense. To actually, without question, notice muscle gain on 2 pills a day, I don't think that most people would notice that. I think if you're a hyper responder, perhaps 2 pills a day, you could notice a dramatic change in body composition and strength. But for most people, 2 pills, it's not really that much. And remember, this guy is natural. He's been training for several years, already has a significant amount of muscle. He added the Tercestrone 2 months into a bulk. He's adding in 100 to 200 calories. You would expect him to be gaining weight. A 200 calorie surplus would be enough to gain approximately 1 pound of muscle and 1 pound of fat. Roughly, approximately. We can't say for sure, we don't know. Even if you think you're in a 200 calorie surplus, doesn't mean you are. Perhaps you had greater needs, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Maybe you slept longer, slept less. You might be in a 200 calorie surplus, you might be in a 200 calorie deficit. He says he didn't notice a significant change in body composition. His weight went up slowly, but he says, well, that's good. If I went up too quickly, it would probably be fat.
Is it worth taking? Potentially. Especially if you were a natural lifter, you're not enhanced, because if you're enhanced, this is literally wasting your money if you're taking this.
He also says if you are enhanced, it's probably a waste of money to take Tercestrone. I do believe that to be true. If you're already taking testosterone, SARMs, I don't think you should add Tercestrone on top of that because SARMs and steroids are already much stronger. My advice would be take it when you go off. If you're on testosterone or SARMs and you stop and you do a PCT, that would be the time when you do take Tercestrone. You want to minimize the amount of muscle that you're losing. If you built 10 pounds of muscle while taking SARMs and you stop them, you're very likely going to lose half or more of that while you're off. If you take Tercestrone and it helps you to build muscle, helps you to train harder, helps you to feel better when you're training in the gym, that will allow you to keep more muscle. So rather than taking both at the same time, take one or the other. And no, I'm not promoting the use of testosterone, SARMs, anything illegal, and only take anything at all with the advice of your doctor. I'm not your doctor.
I honestly honestly suggest it because, like, again, it could be placebo or me adding more calories into my diet, but my strength has actually been very good. I feel very good in the gym.
He would suggest it. He feels stronger and better in the gym. So for him, it's a win. He's not 100% exactly how much it works, but for him, he thinks it works and he's planning on getting more. And one of the biggest factors I look at to see if the supplements actually work, repeat buyers. When I see people buying 3 or 5 bottles, using it, saying it works, and then buying it again, how can I not believe it works? Not to mention, I've used it myself, and I know it works for me.
I think I'm gonna buy like maybe 2 or 3 more bottles from Greg, or maybe even moreplates.moredates.com, Derek.
And in case you're wondering the cost, a single bottle is $40, 3 for $100, 5 for $150. That works out to $30 a bottle. And so try and find it cheaper or better. Many people are saying it's just so expensive, they can't believe the cost. $30 a bottle. Is it really that expensive? Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IP Pro. Please watch the Bloops. The Harder Than Last Time supplements, which includes the Tercestrone mentioned in the video. Click the link in the description. Also, the Circle Diet book, the cookbooks, the training books, coaching plans, on and on. I got so much stuff. Check out the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, and until next time, I am out.